Hi, I'm Nathan Sargent.
And I'm Heather Sargent. And we've partnered with Danville, Pennsylvania County Habitat for Humanity Restore to create DIY projects with items you can find at your local restore. All right, so we are going to get started on our project now. What you want to do is you want to get your cabinet door out, and you want to measure the length from the one end to the next or to the other end where your shelf is going to go, so you know exactly the length to cut your shelf. All right. Now we got this cabinet door at the restore for just $5. And we picked up also a 1x4 board that Nathan is going to cut. The board, I want to say, was $1. I mean, it was $1 or less. It was very affordable. All right, the next step is to drill the pilot holes.
When it comes to screwing the shelf on, there's many options that you can pick for screws. I prefer these finished screws here because they're a little more narrow, got a more finished look. And personally, I think they do a better job. They don't tend to split the wood as bad. But even with that, you still want to drill a pilot hole to keep the wood from splitting. It makes it easier to drive the screw in. And when you're drilling your pilot hole, you want to get a bit that is, the way to measure it is if you lay your bit on top of the screw and you can see your threads on the edge of the bit, that's about the right size bit. Here's an example. This bit would be too big. As you can see, it blocks the whole screw. So that bit would be too big and it wouldn't do any good. The threads wouldn't catch. So now we don't put our bit in a cordless drill here. The cordless drill definitely makes it easier to do this project than a corded drill. All right, now we don't come back over here to our shelf that we've already marked the holes where to drill and drill. And when you drill, you typically want a piece of wood under it. So when you drill through, it doesn't break a big chunk out the back of the wood.
Before you put your shelf together, and probably before you also put the hangers on the back, you're going to want to paint it or you're going to want to stain it. That way, when you do put it together, you don't have to worry about the seams with your paints or with your stains. It'll build up on your seams and it'll look kind of gunky and it just won't look good. You won't be happy with it. So if you stain it or paint it when it's separate, you're able to flip it over and easily get to all the nooks and crannies. All right, now we're actually going to put the shelf and the cabinet together.
Again, with a helper, this is a lot easier than just one person. Line your shelf back up where you had it before you drill the holes. And we're going to put our screws in from the back side here. This particular cabinet door has a lip on it. If your cabinet doesn't have that lip, you could screw in through the top the same way.
Do you have to have a special bit for these kind of screws?
Yes, these particular screws here have what they call it's a T10 bit or a star bit. Again, I like that better than like a Phillips because it fits in better and you don't it doesn't slip near as much.
I would have a hard time trying to line the screws evenly with the shelf. I could see I would be drilling to the top and through the bottom of the board. You line it up, I would be able to line it up. All right, so the next step of your project is to add some sort of hangers or clips onto the bottom. You can, if you have some like coat hooks or coat hangers, you can put those down here or even onto the side. We had some of these around the house, and so we actually affixed these to our first cabinet that we made. People now are hanging little pictures from the bottom, so you could screw some of those along. And we found these at our local restore. Now they don't match, but that's okay because you can simply just spray paint them. I kind of like the way that these here look, but if you want something that matches, we found these as well. If you want something that matches, you can just simply spray paint them. You don't have to go buy brand new hooks or knobs. see if this one works any better. Okay, ready?
Yep. One more. Alright.
Ready?
Yep.
I like the knobs the way that they turn up like this. You can use them to still hang stuff from. So we pretty much have our finished product now. We want to show you what it looks like. Now imagine if this thing was stained or painted. We do have some knobs on here, but of course, like I had mentioned earlier, you can choose different knobs or hooks if you want to. All right, now I want to show you one of the finished shelves that we had done earlier. Here's a cabinet shelf that we had already stained. We have put some of these type of knobs, or actually just hooks. We wanted to put pictures of all 4 of our children on here, and I added a vinyl decal that said family. You can get these decals at a lot of different stores. All right, thanks for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed watching this DIY project. And in less than $15, actually I think we could even do in less than, you could do 2 of them in less than $15 and just 2 hours on a Saturday. Look at the great wall decor you're able to make. Stay tuned for future projects from Heather and Nathan.